Hey guys, we're here about to see Godzilla, King of the Monsters, the end of our little kaiju marathon. Given the teaser at the end of Kong, what are you expecting?
Oh, I am hyped. I've definitely heard a fair amount of this through osmosis from some of my other friends who are into
Mothra,
kaiju
Rodan,
movies,
King
or it's just
Ghidorah.
like, I know all of those names, but I don't really have a whole lot of context for them,
Oh,
so
you'll
I'll be
get
looking
them.
forward to learning.
They stay very faithful. And the music. Bear McCreasy, the guy who's done stuff like Walking Dead and all that. You probably heard the guy's name, right? He's one of those up and coming type of big name in music.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
He does the music here, and he brings a lot of motifs from Akira Ukafube, the original guy, composer for Godzilla. And
I do love me a good soundtrack.
yep, and more. There's going to be a lot more monster stuff. Still going to be human stuff, but more monsters. And I assure you, no cop outs.
Excellent.
Okay, we'll see you guys on the other end.
He knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Hey guys, we just got done, and
It was super, super, super good.
so every flaw we had in the other two, not here.
Yeah.
And what flaws we did have, completely overlooked.
Yeah, overshadowed by awesome.
Yep, basically everything that we complain about the first Godzilla movie, not enough monster fights. We got plenty of monster fights.
Lots of monsters. So
Oh, yeah.
many monsters.
And most of them big ones. The three big ones besides Big G himself. Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah. And we expand the lore. The human story was actually good without overshadowing it. Although, we'll get to our annoyance there. And overall, the action was just so good. The music was
Oh yes, the score was chef kiss perfect.
exactly. And the end sets up so much. And just, again, I can't wait for Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh yeah.
But let's talk about our one issue. Emma.
Oh boy, oh boy.
I hated her.
I hated her too, especially because I can think of villains who had her general shtick who were written way better.
But her, it's like they wanted us to sympathize with her, but it's like, you're having her do this horrible stuff. Even when you had the other bad guy, Jonah, the environmentalist, even when you had him there, to have it be, oh, he's doing worse. Then he says, you came to me with this plan. It's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he does because it was her idea. Even when he was making it clear, oh, let's wipe everything's clean. She started it. I don't care. The only thing that was good about her was her redemption, like sacrificing herself. And even that was like the only thing I would have accepted.
Yeah, it was just like,
If she survived,
what else were you going to do at that point?
but her daughter, was it Madison?
Madison,
Yeah, Madison. Loved her.
She was a standout.
Yep, she was definitely a standout. Strong girl, but not overly strong. Knew them once everything was going bad. She ran and hid. But it's like, duh. But she did have at least a moment of adrenaline where she's all like screaming at King Ghidorah, like, ah!
Yeah, that was just like scream to assert dominance.
Yep. And even at the very beginning, we find out, even though Emma makes it keep unclear, like, I taught her to survive. It makes, in her mind, she kept thinking, I convinced her to be on my side. She never was. Madison even was emailing her dad saying, I'm worried about mom, which I liked.
Yeah.
Then you have the sacrifice of Serizawa.
Oh my gosh, that made me feel all the feels.
Yep. And also the death of Dr. Griffin. That was like, whoa, that was fast, and I felt bad. Because she didn't deserve to have a bridge dropped on her. Or in this case, a mouse chomping on her. Ugh. But, yeah, and so much. And Mothra was so well handled.
Yeah, she was beautiful.
And her basically being the queen of the monsters and having a symbiotic relationship. And yet they made a joke of, those two have a thing going on. It's like, not like that. Things like that, just so good. Was there any flaws, even little besides Emma? Or do you think it was paced and what shot and everything so well?
I mean, that's the only real one that comes to mind. I'm having trouble scanning my mental banks for something that was really off.
There's just so much to praise about this, but I'll tell you about the whole MonsterVerse up to this point. So the first one, now that you've seen this one, how does the first one compare? Like, do you still feel it was a necessary beginning, or do you think we could have just jumped into this one?
I feel like you definitely needed to have a little bit of pacing because jumping right in at here is kind of information overload, and I think that you definitely needed to set up a bit more exposition.
And then Kong, do you think Kong, besides setting up the next movie, was needed, or do you think that one feels like it's just needed for the crossover? Because I personally think, I think it was needed.
Yeah, it's because it's just like, it's another part of the world that kind of shows, hey, this was kind of what the world was like when the Titans were having control.
Well, not even that. It was more like how the early days of Monarch and finding out that there's another island and that Kong's another alpha. Having it be that there's two alphas, whereas Ghidorah, which I am so glad they kept him being a space alien. He was an invasive predator. That was so clever, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's just like...
Like, how else do you do it, right?
Yeah, it's just like, you have all of the stuff where it's just like, it's big and it's scary, but at the same time,
and his
it's
wingspan.
hard.
And his and Mothra's wingspans were so perfect.
Yeah, it's just like, I even like made a comment that's just like, in the spot before Ghidorah emerged, it's just like, that looks like the freaking gate to hell, and
it did.
Meanwhile Mothra kind of looks like an angel descending from the heavens.
Exactly, and she's the queen, Godzilla's the king, and Ghidorah's the usurper, the devil. And just, but again, with Kong, like I said, we needed it, too, I think.
Yeah, because it's just like, it's there for the world building.
That, and also for them to test what other type of action people wanted after the complaints of Godzilla. I think from both a movie perspective and a lore perspective, you needed it. Because I don't think this would have been as good if Kong didn't test the waters of saying how much action people want.
Yeah, it's just like, you take that feedback into account, you work it out, and then you figure out, hey, this is what's good, this is what the audiences want.
Then coming up soon, we got Godzilla versus Kong. Are you still looking forward to that one?
I think that one will be a lot of fun. At the very least, it'll be a good way to blow off steam.
Okay, what are you? Team Godzilla or Team Kong?
Big
G for me.
You know what? I think I'm going to go on Team Big G, too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. When Kong, he doesn't have any weapons, and he has to use a axe made of Godzilla's dorsal fin to block the atomic breath, you know he's in for trouble. I'm sorry, I cannot buy if King Kong is victorious. I can't.
Yeah.
I can buy him surviving, but not,
not winning. Yeah,
No.
I'd agree with you there.
That's probably why I'm glad to bring Mechagodzilla in. So at least you can have the two of them fight against a common foe. And not have it be, we worked so hard. It's like, Godzilla's the one who's in charge. Kong feels like the kind of guy who wouldn't want to be in charge.
Yeah, it's just like, Look,
I'll be in charge of Skull Island, but not the whole world.
It's just like, look, I'm happy with my little patch of land over here.
That's what it feels like. And even though he'll be older by this point, so who knows if he's changed. Apparently he's going to have a big beard.
Huh.
You know, because the fur is even more draped down. Mm-hmm. But overall, I can't wait. Expect for us to do a video. It's going to probably be more streaming like we did that one Expendables video. But yeah. Because, yeah, meeting up to just do that one movie on opening night, not going to happen, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I'm a bit too far away from where she lives, so. But yeah, well, hope to see you guys there. Glad you guys to see it. But yeah, a bunch of short videos, nothing too long, but really, what is there to say about these movies, right?
I mean, it's Godzilla, it's kaiju, you know exactly what you're coming here
Exactly,
for.
and Kong as well. So yeah, glad you guys enjoyed this week of kaiju leading up to Godzilla. We'll see you all later. Hey guys, we're back. Like we said before, this is our addendum now for King of the Monsters, and this made us love it more!
Oh yes, now I have the context for everybody, and that makes it like, oh, cool monster. It's just like, oh hey, it's Rodan the Man, it's my girl Mothra, it's
Ghidorah's evil again! Good God, we have not seen an evil Ghidorah like this since his first appearance.
Yeah, here it's
and even worse, he's even more so.
Oh yeah, it's just like, now comparing like that entrance of looking like he's crawling out of the fires of hell really reminds me of how they presented the full-on form of Destroyer.
Exactly, and he's like, here's what I realized. He's a mixture of King Ghidorah with Space Godzilla.
Ooh, yes.
That's because he has a brain, and he's actually having a plan to take over the world. And the personality, that's one thing I love about the American movies here. The personalities they've given, because these are fans directing and working on these things. They're not just some guys.
You can absolutely tell.
Oh yeah, especially Kevin. Everyone loves Kevin. You know, the other head of Ghidorah. Everyone loves him because he's just like, ooh, what are you guys? Why are you? What is this stuff you're shooting at me that I'm not feeling at all? You know, when he's shooting the bullets at him and everything.
Oh hey, that tickles.
Yeah, like, ooh, you guys are so. Then of course, like, knock it off, idiot. You know, the other ones being so aggressive and all that. And now, unfortunately, once again, the same Mothra cliche, she dies.
Yeah, it's like, there's like maybe all of one movie in which she doesn't die in literally the exact
That we've seen,
yeah.
Yeah, because when we get to the Rebirth, if we ever get to the Rebirth trilogy, dies in the first one, her son in this case, survives the entire trilogy.
Well, that'd be interesting.
And we still haven't seen the first one, and I haven't seen that either, so I don't know the context. But Rodan in this, probably one of the best personalities he's had since Mechagodzilla 2.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, especially in this case, how he's such a scumbag. He decides, like, I'm going to bow down and help whoever I feel is the alpha. At that moment at the end.
No loyalty, is just.
Yeah, I mean, that moment at the end.
Whoever seems to be the boss.
Especially that moment at the end, after Godzilla's won, he's like looking at him, Godzilla stares him down, he's like, bows right before him then. You're like, yeah, you cover your ass. It's because of you Mothra died.
You bootlicker.
Exactly. But yeah, Ghidorah, though, again, was, oh God, Ghidorah is
one
still.
One of his best appearances, if not his best.
The best. Especially, again, the fact that he is an alien who's trying to usurp Godzilla's position as an apex predator. And I'll be honest, did a much better job than Kong's gonna do. I'm sorry. In the hierarchy of apex, Godzilla and Ghidorah are equal. Kong, well, we're gonna be doing a very short, video on Kong just so we don't have a hole in our retrospective. But we'll go over that more there. But yeah. But again, this though, there's and of course, Bear McCarthy's music, all of the love notes to Ikafube.
Oh yes, that's just the soundtrack.
Yeah, and I also gotta say, it had one of my favorite moments. I might edit in the clip here, but it's that bit when Godzilla, after Serizawa launched out the nuke, and then that moment when he comes out of the water, that is the defining Godzilla movie moment in the entire franchise. Everything from him coming up, shooting his breast in the air, and then glaring at the humans, and they have a stare down before he finally backs away then. And I was going to say, this is the most... And this really showed us Godzilla, who is much like Gamera in the Heisei series. He cares, but he doesn't care for everyone. Like, he will avoid people, but he's like, you get in my way, and which it gets exemplified in the next movie. But again, everything here just nailed it. We only had one flaw, if you recall, and that was the mom.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, everyone else, Millie, everyone was great. Like, everything made sense, everything worked. I mean, why do people? I don't get why people hate the human part of this movie. They're like, oh, it sucked. What about it sucked? I mean, again, minus the mom, which I get is a huge part, but aside from that, everything else was good. I mean, I wish she was better written and we weren't trying to sympathize with her. Because seriously, that fell so flat, I got a nosebleed. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this, you're going to see when we get to our retrospective where this now ranks, and it'll surprise you. But until then, we'll see you guys on the next one as we go our little video back over on Godzilla vs. Kong. See ya.